Bum ba da bum. I believe we are live. What's going on, everybody? Make sure to let me know in the chat if everything looks and sounds good. Please let me know down below. But yeah, we're here celebrating crazy enough 800 subscribers. It's been quite a journey, and I'm really happy to be here celebrating with you guys. I want to first of all thank you so much for helping me get to this milestone. Whether you watched the video, liked the video, subscribed, obviously, whatever it was, I really do appreciate it. If you can tell, I'm in a different corner of my little setup here. Behind me is where I film, and then like here's a wall of posters from like my favorite movies. And I'm currently at my desk. So I hope you enjoy the different kind of layout view instead of me being right back here. As you can see, some uh, there we go, right here. But yeah, make sure to let me know your questions in the chat. Yeah, it's kind of just like an ask me anything, movies, TV, whatever you want to talk about. And yeah, so for the next, I don't know, hour or so, I'm looking forward to doing this with you guys. But before we get started, hit the like button. If this is your first time coming to the channel, seeing myself, make sure to hit that subscribe button. I would love to have you on this journey with me. And without further ado, let's get into it. And yes, let's go. All right, we're starting off with the legendary Jason Carr. He says, "Congratulations on 800 subscribers. I thank you very much. You'll hit 1K very soon. Well, I hope so. And I'm so proud of you." Well, thank you for that, Jason. I appreciate you so much. What movie am I checking out this week? Oh, well, I believe you know a movie I'm checking out this week. It is none other than the classic Titanic, which I'm going to see for the first time ever. Most likely Thursday, tentatively Thursday. I'm gonna go see it. Go see it in IMAX 3D. That'll be fun, and then probably do a video about it. So, little sneak peek for you guys. Look forward to that coming maybe Friday afternoon, assuming I go see it on Thursday. I do want to see it in theaters. Just depends on what day I go see it, but I will, post something in the community tab if I do go see it on Thursday. But if not, I'll see it soon. And look out for a video on that, hopefully. What movie have you always wanted but not in your current collection? It's one that I've always wanted to have, but I don't have right now. The first thing that came to mind, I looked at this question before I went live, and I was like, I need to think about this. I think I'm gonna have to go with Prisoners. I surprisingly don't have that movie. It's like in my top 5 of all time, and I've just never found it at like a good price, and so I never got it. But I would love to have it, obviously. I hope it gets like a 4K one day, maybe something going to the Criterion Collection. I could see it landing there one day. I don't believe any other of Denis Villeneuve's movies are in the Criterion Collection, so that'll be cool. What's up, Bill? Congratulations on 800 subscribers. Well, I thank you very much, my friend. Hey, The View with Drew. What's up? What's up with you? Nothing much is up with me. This journey is a great one for you. Yeah, it is. It's a fun journey for sure. Got Alex. What's up, Ben? A huge congratulations on 800 subscribers. Thank you so much. Um, Jason says my OCD is kicking and you better move. Ha, change is good. And yeah, then this is just temporary, like for the foreseeable future. Unless you guys really like me over back there, I'm gonna, continue to stay at my desk for these live streams. Nothing's changing for the regular videos. But okay, this is a good question. Thoughts on AMC introducing variable ticket prices based on seat location, and what kind of seat location do you generally want in the theater? This has been kind of like the talk of the town today on Twitter as they announced it earlier today. It's a really stupid decision. I think you want to get general audiences away from the movie theaters, especially if they're like a casual moviegoer and their go-to theater is AMC, and they now see that ticket prices are going to be they're going to be bumped up based on where you sit in the theater or bumped down. I don't like it. I just don't like it. I think it's just going to push away people rather than bring people in, which is what they're obviously trying to do. In terms of where I sit in the theater, I usually go for like farther back. Sometimes if I'm going by myself, I might go for like, like an aisle seat. Um, it just depends on like an IMAX. I'm gonna want to see like if I want to see the whole screen, obviously, I'll go like somewhere in the middle towards the back. But usually, other than that, if I'm by myself, I'll go like more towards the aisles, and I can just like leave right after the movie's over. Um, but yeah, AMC isn't my go-to theater. Um, there is one near me, but it's not like the go-to one for me. And so I don't have AMC A list, so it's not like the end of the world for me that this thing, this is happening with the ticket prices increasing and in some cases decreasing. I know if you sit like front row, you're gonna have like a probably $2 decrease, which doesn't do much. I mean, no one really wants in the front row anyway, so it's stupid. Um, yeah, I will keep you posted on the Titanic video and everyone else. Look forward to that. Congratulations, man! You're awesome. Well, thank you very much, Jason Wells. I appreciate that. I'm here. Sorry, you and reviews is here. I'm here. Sorry, I was late. I was recording a cover. That's dope. You got to send me the cover. I want to see it. What song were you covering? Let me know. Have you seen The Last of Us? What do you think if you have? I've only seen the first episode. The first episode, the first half of it was really good. Second half of it, I thought was fine. Um, yeah, I kind of like hesitated for a little while because I was gonna try to finish the game, and I was like, "Oh, I'm just gonna finish the game and then start the show." But then I was just like, I'm not gonna have time to start the game or even or really continue playing it and then finish it. Like I didn't know when I would have an elongated period of time where I could just like play video games. So I decided, you know what, I'm just gonna start the show. So I did, and I'm only seeing the first episode, but maybe I'll start the second one tomorrow, possibly. It depends. I'm looking forward to watching the third episode, which I've heard very good things about, but I can't really comment on it, obviously, as I haven't seen it. We got some people saying hi to each other. We love it. Um, AMC has probably lost a lot of fans if this is going forward for their theaters. It's yeah, you might be onto something. Some people are, like I said, are gonna be shy, they're gonna shy away from this. They're not gonna like this idea, but I believe if you have AMC A-list, like, they're hardcore fans, if they have already AMC A-list subscription, it doesn't apply to you. So, like, so if you have one, I think you're in the clear, but just, like, a regular AMC member or just, like, a casual moviegoer that's just going to a random AMC, you're gonna be lucked out, unfortunately. So I believe it's starting this Friday in, like, LA and, like, the bigger markets, New York, um, then I think Chicago as well, and then it'll move, I think they're gonna stretch it out to all of their theaters by the end of the year. Um, so I don't know how quickly that'll go into effect, but we'll have to see. Um, are you a Regal guy? I mean, I'm not opposed to Regal theaters. Um, but they're not my, go-to either. But speaking of Regal, I just got a notification that they're doing another mystery movie screening, so I'm probably gonna go to that. It's at the end of the month on February 27th, I believe is what I saw, and I think it's gonna be Creed 3, so you can sign me up for that. I'm gonna be there. Assuming I don't have anything else to do. I'm usually in the furthest seat up middle. I go to theaters. Cinemark, AMC is used for IMAX for me. Yeah, yeah, that's just how it works. It's not all. I mean, AMC is probably the go-to theater chain. Um, but I know there's places all over the country that don't even have AMCs. They have only Regals um, and some just have independent chains. So it's weird how that stuff works. Um, you and reviews will be quiet and dry for okay, so that's the song you were saying or the cover that you did. So they just got back, and I know you were there recently. What's a recent Disney IP that you think would fit well into a big role at Walt Disney World, A-list ride or a land kind of idea? What's a recent Disney IP that you think would and so if there was like a ride or a land, okay, I see what you're talking about. I think they have this in I think it's in the works. If it's not in the works, I think that's stupid. I think they're definitely doing something with Encanto that was a smash hit, uh, especially on Disney Plus, not in so much in theaters, but over the past I guess nearly 2 years now, it's kind of been like a global smash hit, so I'm sure they're doing something with that. What's another big I think they could do more with Indiana Jones. They're obviously doing so much with Star Wars and Marvel. It's hard because there's Universal Studios there's like the rights issues. I know Marvel has stuff in California. Um, I mean, I was just, I mean, they already have Avatar stuff. Trying to think of what else. I mean, to be honest, those are that's the first thing that comes into my head. But I'm hyped to check out and hear what people are thinking of the Tron ride, which I believe opens up within like 2 months or so. So, and I remember I saw that being built, and I was like, That's going to be awesome." The idea of the ride just excites me itself. Nikhil says, "What do you think about Puss in Boots 2?" Well, if you want to hear my more in-depth thoughts on the movie, I have a full review for it, so you can check that out on the channel. But in terms of my quick thoughts on it, I did really enjoy it. The more I've thought about it, the more I actually enjoy it more. The themes that it touches on, and like Puss in Boots, like struggling with like his anxiety and worrying about dying. It goes into like some deeper themes that I don't think many other people were expecting to see in just another DreamWorks Shrek movie. But and the villains were good, the animation was stunning. It all around, I think like you can't really do much better than that in terms of like asking for a family movie that delivers on all ends. It's not perfect by any means, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. 1K subs by April, at least I call it. Ewan, take a screenshot of this. I'm gonna try to hit that goal. I want to hit, and I kind of like set this goal for myself at the beginning of the year. My 2-year anniversary on YouTube, I believe, is like March. It's around March 3rd, maybe I think it might be March 13th on the dot. So my goal, I was like, I want to try to hit 1K by that date. I would love to hit it by that date. If you guys can help me hit 1,000 subscribers by that date, that would obviously be awesome. But I think it's good to set goals for yourself. But I'm just gonna keep working on trying to grow this community. That's what I want to. That's what I just want to keep doing. And Jason just says that he sent me prisoners. Well, you are too kind, my friend. Thank you so much. Um, Alex says Regal may do Creed 3. You should go. Well, like I said, assuming nothing else, I don't have anything else going on. I do want to go see it. It also could be Scream 6, but I doubt they would do it like especially like 2 weeks early, especially with a bigger movie like that. Um, And I think I was just looking at Fandango earlier today. They are doing, like, like, a day early screening for Creed 3 for general audiences, so I think they're, like, really gonna try to push that movie, and especially if they made a deal with Regal to show it a couple days earlier too. It's a cool idea, and I think that's a good way to get people talking about your movie, especially a big movie like Creed 3 with the Rocky franchise. Yeah, we do have there is a lot in the US. There are a lot of chains. And 2 theater chains in the entirety of Canada? That's insane. Um, yeah, AMC, Cinemark, Regal, Marcus, and 1 or 2 others. Okay, so that's where you are, Jason. I have not heard of Marcus. That might be an independent one. Um, so plus smaller chains to add. Yeah. Rumors about a Universal Monsters Island for Universal in 2025. I'm so hyped. I had not heard those rumors. That's actually crazy. I'm not as big of a Universal's Monsters guy as I know you are, but I think that would be really cool. I know that I forget what I saw, but I think they're doing a Halloween. They're doing something more with like Halloween Horror Nights at Universal. I think they're going bigger. I forget specifically what I saw, but it was really cool, and I think if you do that, like, something like that all year round, that would be dope, and just, like, to get you in the spooky season in, like, February or whatever, like, that would be cool. Um, uh, Bill says, "Since you're not gonna do a formal review video, talk a little about your thoughts on Normal People." Well, I would love to do that. So if you don't follow me on Letterboxd, which by the way, a quick plug for Letterboxd, my username is meter_15. Um, but I logged Normal People. I think I watched it in like early January, mid January. I kind of binged through it within a week or so. It's a fairly short show, only 30-minute episodes. Um, and um it was it's a phenomenal show. I mean, I think it's one of those shows that one day I would love to do a long video on because there's so much to like take in. Watching it and sitting on it, and I mean it's near perfect. Like I have like a couple nitpicks here and there, but it's hard to. It's one of those shows that's like, excuse me, it's hard to form your general thoughts on it because it is so dense at times and um kind of, how it tackles relationships and mental health within relationships and like toxic relationships and specifically just relationships. Uh it's a really special show. A show that not as many people are talking about 3 years later because it premiered in 2020, and I don't know why not as many people watch it. I really don't. If you haven't seen Normal People, like, do yourself a favor. It's on Hulu. Please check it out. It's like 10 episodes, like I said, 30 minutes, easy to binge through. Seriously, such a good show. Ewan says he took a screenshot. All right. Um, which March film do you think will flop in the box office? Flop. Let's see. I'm gonna pull up IMDb and take a look at all the movies coming out that month. It's crazy to think that March is a month away. That's crazy. Okay, so you got Creed 3, Scream 6, 65, the new Adam Driver movie. Um Shazam Fury of the Gods, Inside with Willem Dafoe, which I'm actually really looking forward to. John Wick Chapter 4, and then Dungeons and Dragons Honor Amongst Thieves. Those are like the big mainstream titles. I think there's a good chance that not a lot of people go out and see Shazam Fury of the Gods. I really do. I know that like I'm a big fan of the first movie. I thoroughly enjoyed that movie. I don't know what the chances are that general audiences, especially I know all of them don't know what's going on with DC and like them totally um kind of flipping the switch and making it itself a whole new brand almost. And especially making itself a DC Studios instead of just like a subdivision. Well, I guess it kind of is a subdivision, but anyway, the fact that and that I haven't seen that many uh promos for it in terms of like just watching TV, which I feel like that's where a lot of people are gonna hear about the movie, unless you go to the theaters a lot and see the posters or the trailers. And I don't know if there's that many people that honestly are looking forward to it because, I mean, in terms of the trailers and marketing, I thought the second trailer was pretty bad. Like, it was bad. And I don't know how many people are gonna, I don't know if other people thought of that the same way, the trailer. And I think to just in terms of what movie do I think has the biggest chance of flopping, but flopping, that's a big word. And it's, you know, I don't know if it'll totally flop hard, but out of all the movies, specifically March movies, I think that one has the highest chance of coming in short of expectations in terms of box office revenue. How about that? 1K subs, that's that's like the first big goal for anyone on YouTube, I think. Oh, maybe after 100, I think after 100 for me, I was just like, and then the next one is 1,000, and then once you hit 1,000, it's 2,000, and then 3,000, 4,000, and so on and so forth. Um, and then, um, yeah, then you can start getting into like monetization and a lot of cool stuff. The door is opened a little bit further when you hit 1,000 subscribers. So that's the kind of cool thing. Is there an Apple movie around then? Lol, I hope it's Creed 3, but people might get burned again. Because the last one was Missing, the spin-off of the 2018 movie Searching. Um, I know what you mean by is there an Apple movie coming up? I think because I know for the first or the first couple ones were all Apple movies, so they must have signed a deal with Apple, but I don't know. I'm gonna check another website. Let's see. I mean, I don't see anything. I think it might be Creed 3. Uh, Apple movie? No, yeah. I think it's gonna be Creed 3. I really do. So, we'll see. But, I very well could be wrong, and it could be some movie that no one's ever heard of, but I don't think it's gonna be like that because the whole idea of this mystery movie, day is to get people to see a movie a little early so they can start talking about it and tell their friends, "Oh, you gotta go see X movie because I just saw it early and it was really cool and the movie itself was really good," and stuff like that. Thank you, Zach. Just watching Knock at the Cabin review. What are your top 3 M. Night films? I was gonna do a YouTube short on this, but I just never got around to it. I think I would have to go Split, and I haven't seen the entirety of Shyamalan's filmography. Like, I haven't seen, The Happening, The Village, Lady in the Water, some of, like, the bad ones, or according to a lot of people, the not great ones. I very well could love them for all I know. But in terms of a top 3 as of right now, Split, probably number 1. I would put Knock at the Cabin in there. I think Knock at the Cabin is, like, a damn good movie, and then I'm probably gonna go with The Sixth Sense. It's either that or Signs. I haven't seen Unbreakable in a while, so for all I know, Unbreakable could take the spot of Knock at the Cabin or The Sixth Sense, but it's been, like, 3 years since I've seen that movie, but since watching The Sixth Sense last week, it's definitely stuck with me, um, in ways that I wasn't really expecting because I didn't necessarily, like, love that movie. Like, I definitely enjoyed it. It's a classic for sure, but, yeah, it's just stuck with me in different ways, and the performances, especially from Haley Joel Osment, like, he is so good in that movie, like, for I don't even know how old he was when he did that movie. I think he was, maybe under 10, definitely under 12, I would think. So, so good. Uh, have you ever done a double or triple header in a movie theater? I don't think I have. To my knowledge, in the past like year or so, have definitely been times where I like, oh, I'm gonna do this and then see that right after it, especially if I was gonna do a review for one or both of those movies. But it's a daunting task being the idea of sitting at a movie theater and you know, I mean, I really do think that's what's holding me back. It's a daunting task. You're sitting like 4 hours straight or even more in one single location and kinda just I think it would feel more like a chore to me rather than, like, something that I could enjoy. Because like, you can't pause it. If I did that, like, at home, like, if I had to just, like, sit on my couch all day and just watch a bunch of movies, it sounds like fun, um, but I think the idea in and of itself can be I think there's a little bit of, I don't know if scary is the word attached to it, but I think it can be I don't wanna keep saying daunting, but it is a task that can be hard. How about that? Um, yes, assuming once I hit 1,000 subscribers, then you also have to hit 4,000 public watch hours. Little info for, anyone that doesn't know that. So, you have to hit 1,000 subscribers and then, 4,000 public watch hours, and I think I'm over halfway there. So, The best way to help with that is, honestly, like, put my videos on in the background if you're doing work and you just want some background noise or whatever works for you, and just continue to support and watch my videos, and that's all I can really ask for. We're gonna get there one day. Ewan says it'll be Creed 3. Yeah, you know, there's 2 votes now. Let's see. Watch what's next? Oh, I lost my place. Uh, Bill says, "I think the first 2 were Apple, The Greatest Bureau Ever, and then Spirit. I hope it's Creed 3 for sure." Yeah, I think there might have been one before that of I think it was like a Bollywood movie. I could be wrong though. Recorded entertainment, what's going on? What do I think is the worst movie of 2023 so far? In my opinion, it's Megan. I've only seen 6 2023 releases so far, and granted, there hasn't been that many as we are a month and a couple days in. But yes, that's probably my least favorite movie of the year. Watch The Happening, it's so funny. I've heard some very funny things about it, especially Mark Wahlberg. I think it's a movie that, from what I've heard, takes itself very seriously, and it's really stupid. So I think that'll be a fun watch. The Happening is so bad it's good. Yep, it's a complete comedy. Okay, that's good to know. I was just watching before I got on this stream. I was watching Sean Chandler's ranking of all of M. Night's filmography, and he was talking about The Happening and just kind of just like trashing on it. And I was like, I gotta watch this movie. You know, I'll definitely get to it. Hopefully, and I'm kind of on like a M. Night kick, but the kick is kind of ending. If that makes sense. Like I'm kind of just like okay, on to the next movie. So we'll see. Top 5 movies of all time. Okay. My number 1 is Ferris Bueller's Day Off. If you guys know me and if you watch my videos, you can obviously see that there is a Ferris Bueller poster back there. So that's my number 1. Perks of Being a Wallflower is my number 2. 3 is The Dark Knight. 4 is Prisoners. And the 5th spot is where it gets tricky. And I'm gonna look back at my kind of wall of posters here because you know, you could put a School of Rock, you could put a Parasite, you could put a what else? I I have a and that's why it's always hard for me to like, especially like if I were to make a video on that stuff, it would take a lot of time to sit down and think about that. So maybe one day I'll make a video of my favorite movies of all time. That I have a concrete top 4, and then that's where it gets tricky. Signs is a masterpiece, Ewan says. I wouldn't go that far, but again, film is subjective, and I think that's one of your favorite movies of all time, and I can definitely see why. That's for me not the best thing though. More talk about The Happening. Good to know. The Village is solid, but a very different film, and it's been years since I've seen it. Yeah, I know that there are people that complain about the twist with that one. I don't even and I don't know about you guys, but I think M. Night's most forgettable movie, or the one that like people just genuinely forget that is his. For me, I definitely think it is. It's old. Like no one talks about that movie anymore. It was, and it's it's not a good movie. So, um, last triple feature. And what's up, Luke? Last triple feature I did was Bones and All, Banshees, and Bardo. One day. That's what nearly 2.5 hours for Bones and All. 2 hours for Banshees and, like, 3 hours for Bardo. That's impressive. You should be, proud of yourself for doing that. I probably could do it, but it scares me to do that. I think that's crazy. And also all at the theater too. Let me know. Done it for a good bit of reasons, but it's not easy, it's pretty exhausting. Yeah, and you don't want, like, watching movies to get exhausting, you know, especially if it's something that you love so much. I think, um, yeah, I think it's one of those things that's like you don't want to get tired of it. Unbreakable is so good. I I I remember really liking it. I've done Violent Night and Top Gun Maverick with a 30-minute layover to the next theater. Oh, so you went um to two different theaters. Okay, that's pretty cool. Uh and Luke also says or 10 million YouTube Shorts views. Yeah, I didn't mention that one because it's like s- it's so out of reach. I feel because it's like either 4,000 public watch hours or 10 million YouTube Shorts views within 30 days. Um, so it's but you have to work to get monetized, and I think that's a good uh well, it's obviously excuse me, good for YouTube, but in terms of like on the from the creator's perspective, it makes you work towards your goal being wanting to earn money from YouTube. So it makes sense. I saw Banshees and Armageddon Time as a double feature a couple months ago. That's pretty cool. Um, and Ewan agrees with me on Megan. It was not that good, and I don't understand why everyone loved it. Again, I think it just maybe people went into it with lower expectations. I think maybe I went into it with higher expectations because of it being so universally loved by critics. I mean, last time I checked, I think that was like a 95% on Rotten Tomatoes, which for a January release is unheard of. Um, for a Blumhouse release, that's might be their highest rated movie next to like Get Out and what's another Blumhouse movie? Um, so it's like it's crazy. I It was bad. I didn't think it was good. If you watch my review, um, obviously go more in depth on it, and n- nothing really about it has stuck with me except for the fact that I genuinely just did not like it. There's a lot of singing, surprisingly, from Megan, and uh, what else? I think that's kinda it. Like, I remember, like, bits and pieces, you know, specific plot beats from the movie and how everything went down, but you can't like, maybe a trailer will help me get excited for the sequel, but I might not be there opening day, I'm not gonna lie. Unless it's, like, the only movie coming out, and assuming, like when does it come out? I think it comes out in January as well. So, like, if it's the only movie that's coming out, and then hypothetically, like, I wasn't busy that week and I needed to review something, then maybe that's the only reason why I would go see it, as of right now. But we have, what, 2 years to change that? We'll see. Which YouTubers do I watch the most? You know, it's the usuals, the Sean Chandlers, who I've already mentioned, Chris Stuckman, I don't know if I missed a video of his and, like there are a couple of videos that I don't, like, watch all the way through of Chris Stuckman's, but he's obviously the GOAT. John Flickinger, who's, you know, um, I love his live streams and his YouTube videos, while inconsistent. Um, I have like he was one of the first people that obviously got me into this kind of circle. Um, who else? You know, like a bunch of the fellow YouTubers in this film community thing that we have on YouTube here. There's so many like names, it's like easy to forget. And you know, I watch John Campea fairly often. And yeah, those are just a couple. If I had a vote, who would I pick? Austin Butler, Colin Farrell, or Brendan Fraser? I'm gonna rewatch both Elvis and Banshees over the next sometime over the next month. So, um, this is really stumping me. It's like a it's a three-way tie between the 3. Like, they're all really good in each of their movies. Fraser's career best. Austin Butler has a big career ahead of him. Colin Farrell, arguably career best. I didn't love all the movies though, so that's why I think it's hard to pick a clear answer. Um, I think the person that deserves it the most, I don't know. That's also hard because I think is this the hardest question of the stream? Maybe. I would go Fraser. Brendan Fraser. Yes. Let's go then. Gustavo, you have so many fans down in Brazil, you won't even believe it. Keep it up. Well, thank you for that. I did not um, know that that was the case. I appreciate that. What I think is the funniest movie I've ever watched? I think my favorite comedy is The Hangover, so that's up there. Old School, that's such a funny movie. What's another really fun comedy? You know, like the Elves, the uh, yeah, those are a couple. Um, but it's rare to see like a is it? I mean, within the past, I think within this decade, I think there's one specific comedy that like really made me like just fall in love with it and like laugh really hard. I don't know, but we're still early into the decade, so Hollywood, you have time to make another comedy. We got this. Um, Batman or Spider Man? My top 1 and 2 kinda, like, favorite, um, superheroes. Batman, if I had to pick. Yes. I think I'm gonna go for Batman. I think there's not that there's more to his character, but, I mean, is there an argument there? I don't really know. But in terms of, like, the comics, and I haven't even, like, really dipped my toes into the water of, like, reading more about the character, like, I if I really wanted to indulge into Batman, I could definitely do more reading in the comics and all the classic, storylines of the comic books, really. But Batman's just I know it's kinda like the simple answer for everyone that was like, "Who's your favorite DC character?" It's like, "Oh, Batman or Superman," or whatever, but, for a multitude of reasons, Batman. Um, and also just, The Dark Knight's my top one of my favorite movies of all time, so, um, that helps the argument. Okay, so you're talking about the triple feature, all at the theater, props to you. Top 5 would be Revenge of the Sith, Lego Ninjago movie, Baby Driver, Whiplash, and Amazing Spider-Man 2. That's a bit of, like that's a how would I describe that top 5? Like, it's genre blending, it's an interesting top 5. Um, I it's funny, I haven't seen the Lego Ninjago movie since it came out. I don't remember it, like, really sticking with me that much, but I've kind of been like, "Oh, maybe I should go back and revisit that one." Baby Driver, obviously critically acclaimed, everyone loves that movie. Whiplash, that's a phenomenal movie. Amazing Spider-Man 2 is overhated, I think. Revenge of the Sith, I haven't seen in a while, so, but that's a cool top 5. It's a top 5 that I don't know if I've seen a top 5 like that, so props to you for that. Yeah, click the like button if you enjoy this video. If you enjoy the live stream, click the like button. Oh, you were just talking about theaters. Megan didn't have a lot happen to like my reaction was way shorter than usual. Yeah, I watched your reaction. I just didn't comment on it, Ewan, but I remember it was like 12 minutes long, and I know some of yours are like 20, 25. I think some even 30 or more. And you're right. Like there's not that many scenes in the movie that go like, oh, or like especially for a reaction video, I think it's hard to react to a lot of the things in that movie because there's not much to react to. Jalen said, "My birthday is coming up. Well, happy early birthday. I really want to start my own Twitch and YouTube. Any ideas or advice?" I think the go-to advice that if you ask anyone is just to start and continue to grow. That's the main goal that was the main goal for me is like with every video, try to get better at like a little thing. And then the next video get better at another thing. And just continue to grow and learn from your mistakes and do make sure that when you whatever form of content you create, whether that's streaming or making YouTube videos, whatever it is, make sure that you're making content that you are proud of and you're not just kind of pushing content out there to I don't know why I quoted content like in terms I guess pushing I meant like you don't try not to overwork the um that kind of drive and passion that you have, or else it's gonna start feeling like it's a chore. Like I mentioned, like watching X amount of movies in a day, it's kind of like, oh, it's a big task, and you don't want it to make it feel like a task. You don't want it to make it feel like work. You want it to be something that you enjoy doing, you enjoy making, and something that you're proud of. And I think the go-to advice is to, create something in your head, create an idea in your head of what you want to do with your content, and then just start. I really do think that's the advice I would give to you. This thing is hilarious. I checked Titanic for Saturday at 4:15 p.m. All the D-box seats are sold out. I believe those are the. I remember you messaging me. I've never heard of the D-box seats. There are 17 of them, $25 a piece. Got it for $9. That's a bargain. I think $25. Like, are this? Do they like? Are they massage chairs? Are they? Do they have seat warmers in them? Like, you better be getting something for that than just like a regular seat. I don't. What theater chain is that for? Let me know. CinemaSins. I have never watched CinemaSins. I think I've heard of it. I've never watched it. Plans to watch To Leslie. Yeah, I haven't watched it yet. I obviously plan on watching it because I want to hear, or more so not hear, but know what all the buzz is all about with Riseborough's performance, and know if if it was really worthy of that nomination, which I'm sure it was. Um, but we'll see. So in terms of watching it, within the next month. I'm waiting, kind of like waiting, hoping it goes on a streaming service so I don't have to like rent it for like $10 or whatever. Um, but if that's what it comes down to, I'm obviously gonna do it. Um, but I don't want to rent it and then like the next week, oh, it's on Hulu, and then I'd be like, damn it. So if I wait last minute, I wait last minute. But at least I watched it. Well, on the best actor question could go with Mescal too. I think in terms of who has a shot of winning, like ranking it, Bill Nye, uh, then Paul Mescal, then I think it's just like a toss up between the three. I think it's gonna come right down to it. I think depending on how the night goes, if the whale, I think it only has acting nominations if I'm remembering correctly, and like a makeup and hairstyling. I don't. It doesn't have screenplay. Um, if the Banshee starts really performing well, like if Brendan Gleeson somehow pulls an upset and wins over Ki Hua Kwan, which is not going to happen, I don't think. I think then Brendan Fraser might as well kind of just that might be a lock. Um, and they'll do Best Actor before Best Picture unless they're totally screwing themselves over and did what they did in 2020, which was disastrous. And I don't even want to talk about what they did then. I think it's gonna come down right to the wire, and Brendan Fraser could pull out the win. Uh, um, where am I blanking on the other people's names? Colin Farrell or Austin Butler. They could win. Yeah, and Alex just said, yeah, Fraser may win the Oscar. Any thoughts on the new upcoming Indiana Jones movie? I'm really much so looking forward to it, and I think I might be. TBD, but I might be, or not TBD, I guess. If Indiana Jones, I'm hoping it gets moved because I'm going on a vacation later in the year, right around when it comes out, and I think I might be away. And I wouldn't do a YouTube review, and I don't really want to take away from my vacation. So, like, I don't know if I would be able to see it opening night. So I'm like, fingers crossed it gets moved. If it gets moved, uh, like farther back, for me, I'm like, oh, I guess it's better than nothing. If it gets moved farther up, that's obviously really cool too. But I just don't want to. I would hate to miss it. But regardless, I'm really looking forward to it. Uh, we're probably getting another trailer on Sunday for the Super Bowl, so most likely going to be reacting to that. So make sure to look out for that. Um, yeah, those are my quick thoughts on the movie, and I still have to watch the third and fourth Indiana Jones movies. Of course, I've heard about Outer Banks season 3, and I mean, it's coming out in under 2 weeks or maybe a little over 2 weeks. Um, I don't know if I'll review it. Uh, I will try to keep you guys updated on that, though, if any of you are interested in Outer Banks, an Outer Banks review. A movie in a theater for first day, yay or nay, generally a good choice or a mistake? Um, I generally like the idea of you go see a movie and then you go out to dinner. So then you can have, like, if there's, let's say there's not much chemistry between, I mean, on a first day it's hard to tell, but if you guys aren't really clicking, um, you can always have that to fall back on, that you both saw the same movie, that you can talk about it. So, I know that people have started to come around on that idea. I definitely started hearing it more and more. So that's my advice. Or not less advice, but uh, I don't know if it's a mistake, but you know, first date, eh. Yeah, no problem. And if you have any more questions, let me know. Excuse me. Best PTA film. Uh, um, my favorite. I haven't seen that many of his movies. I think unless I'm missing one, it might have to be Licorice Pizza. That was one of my favorite movies of 2021. Paul Thomas. I'm looking him up on Letterboxd. Still haven't seen There Will Be Blood. Really did not like Punch Drunk Love. Wasn't a fan of Boogie Nights. Wasn't a fan of The Master. Yes, my favorite movie of his is Licorice Pizza. Yes. Oh, great minds think alike, I guess. He does produce some great content and controversial takes for sure. But I've learned a lot from him about the business, and I think that's an important thing to learn about. So, what's the last thing you watched on Netflix? I'm currently watching Homecoming, Fire Festival documentary, and the Reputation tour. The last thing I watched on Netflix. Funny enough, I grew up watching Victorious, which I don't know if any of you are familiar with, on Nickelodeon, and I was kinda like I was like, "I wanna watch Victorious," like, I just wanna watch an episode of Victorious, kinda live through that. Um, I was obviously kind of a part of that era of Disney Channel and, Nickelodeon, and so it's on Netflix, so I put it on, I think, yesterday, and it was just fun to kinda just look back on that. It's a funny show. It's a weird show. It's a weird show, but, um, I think it's probably better than half the stuff that's out today, if I'm being completely honest. In terms of, like, kid stuff or stuff targeted at children. How about that? The seats move with certain scenes. Oh, so it's kinda like, what the hell do they call that? Uh, 2DX or something like that? Screen X, is that what they call it? Something like that. Oh, 4DX? I um, Cinemark does it as far as I know. I think they heat up also. Yeah, and I mean, you guys let me know. What are your thoughts on uh like seats or like a chair or a seat that has like a butt warmer in it? Like I don't know about you guys, but I don't if it's an option, I'm not gonna put it on. I doesn't work for me. But I know it's a weird question, but if you guys disagree with me, if you agree with me, let me know. The only movie have you seen in Cinemark is Glass Onion. Um, I have not seen the Cinemark. I don't think I've seen a movie at Cinemark. I don't think there's one near me. You got it. Well, yeah, to a degree, because I think I'm gonna be out of the country, so I think it might be hard. But um, D-block keys are pretty cool for the first 10 minutes. It annoys me after that. It makes me sick. I ended up turning the motion. Oh, you can turn it off. Though. That's pretty cool. So watching an hour 20. So yeah, 2 hours. Better check whether it's worth it. Yeah, that's interesting. I appreciate the feedback. I've never heard of it though. Um, but it, it's it's interesting that they have it um in Brazil because I know you mentioned that you're from Brazil. So maybe it's a more something more not in the States, but I know Jason is obviously in the US, so yeah, there we but I've heard nothing but great things. Like people put it up there for one of the best performances of all time, one of the best movies of all time, one of the best directed movies of all time. Did it win Best Picture? I think it might have. Um, so yeah, but I know it won a bunch of Oscars. I gotta watch it. But that 3 hour runtime, I think is holding me back. One of these days, though. Ever considered starting a Discord server to go along with the channel? Not really. No. I've never been a Discord user necessarily. I'm not opposed to it. If there was a like, if I got to a point where you guys as part of this community would want that, I would consider it. But um I haven't really put much thought into it, no. Oh, you love Victoria's growing up. Well, I'm glad there's another Victorious fan in here. Favorite episode was Cell Block. Was that the one where they get locked up in jail in I forget which foreign country. It might have been like a made up foreign country. Um, because I know Dan Schneider makes up like random people and stuff like that. Cell Block. Let me look that up actually, really quickly. 'Cause now I want to know. Victorious Cell Block. Victorious Cell Block. Oh, no, it was not. It's the episode where they can't use their electronics. Okay, so I was off there. I think I just thought of cell and I was like, "Oh, prison." Okay, I vaguely remember that one. Yes. Do I think the new AMC policy could bankrupt and affect the box office well, there's a possibility that AMC, they decide, you know what, we heard your feedback. We're not going to do it. I hope that maybe is in the cards. Maybe it's not. Um, will this cause AMC to go bankrupt? I don't think so. Um, because I think from what I don't pay too much attention into that kind of realm in terms of like the stock market and like businesses and their, uh, stuff like that. But um, I I lost my train of thought. I don't I don't think that AMC is doing that poorly in terms of money. So I don't know. Okay. You try to see warmer once, it's okay. We have an okay. We have an okay. Uh, 3 settings for heat. I have it on 1. It's warmer than warm. I'm sure the third setting is hotter than the sun. Yeah. If you like, why would you want that? I mean, I'm not particularly like, saying this to you, but just like anyone, like, why would you want to be like sitting on something so warm? But whatever. Alex is gonna hand out since I have something to do. That's no problem. You have a great night too, Alex, and I look forward to catching up soon again. Yeah. It's D-Box in some area. Locally, it's called something else. Okay. They do have them in Brazil around 70. Is that your form of currency, I believe? Like double the price for the standard seat. Okay. Traveling abroad, make a quick stop in Brazil. I'm not gonna be not gonna be anywhere near Brazil. I'll tell you that much. But I would, I would love to go to Brazil one day. Maybe. Do I go to concerts? I'm hoping to come to the Renaissance and the Eras tour. So what is that? The Taylor Swift? What's the Eras tour? Where the Renaissance is that? I don't know. What did I think of Taylor? Is that Beyonce? Um, Let me know. Do I go to concerts? I have been to one concert. If you want to know what that is, it was the Jonas Brothers back in 2019. Because I'm a fan of the Jonas Brothers. I'm not gonna lie. I'm I'm a fan of their music, and they were great in concert. In terms of other musicians that I want to go see in concert, like a Bruno Mars, and Adam Levine, a Post Malone, or not a, I guess not Adam Levine, but more specifically Maroon 5. Um, Drake, I think would be cool. Yeah, a handful of artists. I have a very like my taste in music is kind of all over the place. If any of you guys are into music, your movie and then your ideas are so solid. It makes it so much more sense than the other way around. I mean, I'm glad you agree with me. Congrats on 800. What's your most anticipated movie for this year? Well, I'll tell you a couple. If you want to hear 15 of them, you can watch my top or most anticipated movies of 2023. My eh, I'll throw a couple out there. Barbie. I'm over the moon excited for Barbie. And I know someone who I don't know, I don't think they're still here, but they're talking to me the other day about Barbie, something about Barbie, which is pretty cool for them, and I'm very jealous, to say the least. Super Mario Bros. Movie, which is coming up in 2 months from now. Yeah, 2 months. I'm really hyped for that. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, that trailer blew me away. Um, Hopefully we get another look at it this upcoming Sunday at the Super Bowl. Um, I'm looking forward to The Little Mermaid. I think we're definitely gonna get another trailer for that, and I think that will either boost my excitement level or bring it down a notch based on what it looks like. Um, Indiana Jones. I don't think I mentioned that. Yeah, Creed 3. Those are just a couple. It's gonna be a good year for movies, assuming they're all good movies, but they could be bad. AMC would be fine. Okay, Beyonce and Taylor Swift. Okay, so I think correct on both those. Um, I love the Jonas Brothers. One of my life goals is to be Nick Jonas. That's awesome. I Nick Jonas seems like a cool dude. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm just catching up on comments. See, have a good night, Luke. And thank you so much for your support. And Barbie is gonna be so good. I really hope it's gonna be so good. Do you think we'll get a Barbie trailer on Sunday? Don't think. Wait, I don't. I believe Universal or Warner Bros. Hasn't gone to the Super Bowl in like 20 years. So unless they pull a surprise, I think you have to like rent out the slots for like who can, because the Super Bowl is such a highly uh, what's the word? In terms of companies, they really set out to get a Super Bowl spot, and they pay millions of dollars to do it. I don't think I believe it's Warner Bros. That hasn't been in like 25 years because they just are like, we don't want to put our money towards that. And you're still months away from the Barbie movie. If they're probably putting finishing touches on it. I don't think it's picture locked yet. Um, yeah, so we'll see. But I don't think so. I miss watching movies in the US. Love the audience reacting and interacting in the theater. Brazilians are crazy and concerts loud. The movie theaters are total silence. And that's weird. Somehow that, or not somehow, but how that works, um, just around the world. I know you and kind of who was in the chat earlier, mm, Canadians. I believe from what I've heard from him, they're not that hardcore in theaters, like you mentioned. Um, and I mean, like in terms of like the U.S. from the theaters that I've gone to, like you're only gonna get like crazy reactions in like the Marvel movies, but I feels like those are like the ones that it's almost like a must for most Marvel movies now. Like I know people, there's a big argument about it. I don't really feel like discussing it right now because there's so much to delve into it, but it's just kind of like in terms of I love a good audience, one that doesn't talk during the entire movie though. I have too many stories of that. Um, but we can talk about that for another time. Eagles or Chiefs? I think for any football fans out there, the Super Bowl, I think the Eagles are going to win. I think it might be a good game. I'm not really looking forward to it though. More looking forward to the trailers. I'm most excited for Scream 6, okay, next month, Dune Part 2 is in second place for me. I'm not over the moon excited for that, but I know many people are. Oppenheimer is third. Florence Pugh is going to eat for sure. She's gonna have a damn good year. What is that? Like, what did she do last year? I'm trying to think of. No, she had that Netflix movie. Am I missing something else? Like, that's like, oh, Don't Worry, Darling. What the hell? So that's like 3 years in a row now. She's been she must be on cloud nine. Props to her. Now that Harry Styles won Album of the Year at the Grammys, I really want him to have his own Marvel slash Disney Plus show as Arrow's Starbucks. I think. Well, I don't know if like winning Album of the Year last night at the Grammys is going to help him or uh, it definitely wouldn't hurt him. But I think that's a cool concept for a show. I don't know how many people out there would be interested in it, but I know that apparently, according to like um, what was it Nielsen, that Eternals was the most watched Marvel movie of 2022, which is crazy. Marvel built up 10 years of excitement, so the audience went wild for Endgame. Yeah, legit. Those reactions were uh understandable. Well, yeah, they were. I mean, No Way Home. I just get chills thinking about seeing the first big reaction was Charlie Cox, and then it was Andrew, and then it was Toby, and there's just so many moments in that movie. Then you get to Endgame. That was the first time I ever really had an experience like that in a theater, where when Cap caught Mjolnir, I literally jumped up out of my seat, just like, and like the crowd just around me was erupting. I just have that like memory. It's just like vivid in my head right now. Um, it's just things like that that make me even love movies more. The experience like that. Okay, yeah, the Netflix movie The Wonder, which I didn't watch, and Don't Worry, Darling. Okay. Yes, I also just thought of this movie. She's in A Good Person coming in March. I'm so excited for it. Um, Morgan Freeman is also in it. Yes, I'm looking forward to it because it's from Zach Braff, who I believe he directed it. I don't know if he wrote it. Who made Here's a movie recommendation for all of you guys. If you haven't seen it, Garden State. Natalie Portman, Zach Braff. What is it? Which one of the Scars guards is it? Not Bill, not Stellan. One of the Scars guards is in it. The one that's married to what's her name? Maggie Gyllenhaal, I think. I love that movie. Love that movie. All right, well, have a good night, Gustavo, and I'm gonna be wrapping up soon as well, guys. Um, Good night. We'll check you out on Instagram. Ciao, ciao. Yeah, ciao. Not really a question, just a comment, Zoe Deutsch. I love it. I want to make it very clear that I 100% disagree with the critics. I thought Eternals was awesome. I loved it. I enjoyed it. I definitely like the critics that were crapping on it. I thoroughly enjoyed it when I watched it in theaters. Haven't revisited it since, but did thoroughly enjoy it. Um, Peter Skarsgård, there we go. I was that was not that name wasn't gonna hit me, but I'm glad that you mentioned it. And ended off with this. All right, cool. I'll check out more Zach Braff. He seems like a competent director. He's I think he's only done like 3 movies. The Garden State, another movie, Wish I Was Here, which I'm gonna probably check out, and then A Good Person. But I'm looking forward to that movie and the rest of the 2023 movies. And I look forward to talking about it with you guys. But in terms of this live stream, that's gonna do it. I had a blast talking with you guys, talking about movies for an hour, and I think we dabbled in TV a little bit. It's always fun. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Once again, hit the like button. If this is your first time seeing this channel, I appreciate you checking out the stream. Hit the subscribe button. And look forward to next week's gonna be a big week. Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. I know a lot of your most anticipated movies of the year. I know. It's gonna be incredible. Come on, let's be honest with each other. Then we got Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, and by the way, first reactions come out tonight at midnight EST. So look out for this. Of Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania. I of course will not have a reaction to it that because I am not seeing it tonight, but I look forward to that movie and all of the movies coming out over the next month or so. Bill, I appreciate you being here. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm just reading your comment. Well, I appreciate it. I I I can't appreciate you and your support enough. Again, Jalen, Jason, and the other Jason. I appreciate you guys so much. And that's gonna do it for the stream. Until next time, though, look forward to more videos and reviews coming soon. My name is Ben. People call me Meter, and I'll see you guys in the next stream. Take care.